Is the Russia-Ukraine war about to end? That might be the most asked question over the last 4 years since the war started. But is there a clear answer yet on the horizon? Both Putin and Zelensky seem to be sending out a crucial message. In fact, Zelensky has written a rare open letter to Putin, in which Zelensky has proposed a face-to-face meeting with Putin. In the letter, Zelensky also said that Ukraine proposes ending the war through direct engagement and that he is proposing a meeting, saying that he proposes to set a clear date for such a meeting, adding that Ukraine is ready for a full ceasefire for the duration of the negotiations. In fact, Zelensky did not hold back in that letter, also saying that after 26 years in power, age is beginning to take its toll on Putin, quote unquote. What did Trump have to say in reaction to the letter? Remember, he has pushed both sides to end the conflict earlier, also claiming that he could end the war within a day of taking office. That clearly has not happened, and the war has dragged on for 4 years. Trump has said he thinks it would be great if the two leaders met. They should get it done, is what he has said. Remember, months of the US-led negotiations have failed to bring the sides close to an agreement. For now, Trump sounds optimistic, but will the meeting happen is the immediate question. Earlier, the Kremlin said Putin had not yet been shown the letter, but that Zelensky could meet Putin in Moscow any time. Interestingly, that is a proposal that the Ukrainian leader preemptively has ruled out in his letter. And speaking in St. Petersburg just before Zelensky's appeal was published, Putin had repeated his frequent questioning of the Ukrainian leader's legitimacy, so that tough stance had remained. But speaking to journalists, Putin also said he was certainly prepared and willing to reach an agreement with Ukraine, also saying compromises needed to be made. He suggested that as Trump was busy with Iran, the EU could talk Zelensky into surrendering territory. So that's his messaging. And while a big question mark remains over whether the two leaders will actually meet, it's also the tone and the timing of the statements that's standing out for multiple reasons. Are these clear indications of how the war fatigue is impacting both sides, perhaps? What's really changed as far as the sticking points are concerned? For instance, remember, Russia's stance has been that Ukraine pull out of its eastern Donbass region as a precondition to the peace talks. In fact, Putin's long-standing position has been that Ukraine should withdraw from Donetsk, Luhansk, Kherson, Zaporizhia, and give up its efforts to join the NATO. The messaging from Zelensky is also about how America's attention remains largely on Iran and what that means for the Ukraine war. And the core aspect there remains air defenses. Russia's air attacks have grown in sheer volume in recent months, remember, aiming to overwhelm the Ukrainian air defenses. Even experts have called it the overwhelm approach, as it's called. And Ukraine has been feeling the heat. But very significantly, Putin has also accepted that Russia needs to improve its air defense systems. He was speaking a day after the Ukrainian drones struck an oil terminal and naval base in St. Petersburg, just as the St. Petersburg International Economic Forum opened. In fact, Ukraine has intensified its long-range retaliatory strikes on Russian energy and military targets in recent months. These are attacks it calls a fair response to nightly barrages by Russia's army. Remember, Zelensky has repeatedly requested for advanced F-35 Lightning warplanes to counter the Russian Air Force. Ukraine has also said it will make the Swedish fighter jets as a backbone of its air force to confront Russia. At the same time, Putin claimed that Russia had not yet used its Oreshnik hypersonic missile against Ukraine in real combat conditions, but had only tried it out to observe the results. So it remains to be seen if an end to the war is actually on the horizon or these developments turn out to be a mirage. And the developments so far, while they show signs of optimism, will they actually yield any breakthrough?